Hello everyone, welcome to our Facebook Live for this week. I'm Angie and I'm here with Too Cool Stamping, and first of all I want to get my feeds set up on my VIP group so we can simulcast. So if you just excuse me for a moment, we'll wait for some people to come on here live anyway. I like to let people find the feed. So oh my goodness. Share. I'm going to get over this technical stuff here. I promise. Let's see. On a group. I need like an assistant. Too Cool Stamping VIP group. Good morning. I am just getting our simulcast set up. Okay. It looks like, it looks like I have to approve it for some reason. I noticed last week a few people went over and checked to see if I was simulcasting, and they said no, and apparently it says I need to approve. No, it looks like it's working. Okay. Hey everybody. Good morning. I'm sorry, I hate that. It's not a very good start. I need to figure out a better way to do that. I am so glad that you guys are here this morning. Oh, Debbie from cold Minnesota. It's pretty cold here, but I'm sure it's not as cold as Minnesota. So glad that you're here. Thank you for sharing. Hey, let's start out right away by saying thank you for sharing. And now what did I do with it? Oh my goodness, I'm so out of sorts this morning for some reason. I was going to tell you about the prize giveaway. If you share today, this is not going to have anything to do with the comments today. It's all going to be about sharing, but I'm going to give a pack of the Frosted Floral Elements, the Frosted Flowers, and it's from the Floral Romance suite. And I had them right here. I was going to show you. But that's what we're going to give away today. So Debbie is already entered to win, and she has a really good chance right now. But if you want to win, you'll be entered to win the Frosted Floral Elements. I don't have my full package. Maybe I can find my other. Here's a little package that's already opened. But you can see they're so cute. They're just teeny tiny flowers, and they're so sweet. And we're going to be using them today on the projects that we're sharing. So, that is one thing that we're doing today. The other thing I wanted to just mention, because I hadn't mentioned it for a while, was to not forget about the awesome starter kit deal that's going on right now. Did you know, I mean, it's normally an awesome deal, $99 starter kit, and you receive $125 worth of product. But during celebration, which lasts throughout the whole month of, throughout the month of March, it's actually a 3-month promotion, but it ends in March. During that time, you can pay just $99 and you'll get $175 in products of your choice. That's any current catalog item that you want. And I mean, that's $50 more than you're normally going to get, $50 more. Now, there's also a second option because we like Too Cool options, and I love that Stampin' Up! Does too. So if you get a starter kit for $129, you can also get this awesome craft tote, which is so big I can't even get it in the camera. So it's really awesome and has a lot of awesome dividers on the inside that you can fill up with all of your paper and your stamps and ink and everything. It has a really nice front pocket here. It has some front pockets. These are perfect for stamp pads or punches. It's got a really sturdy handle, a cute little tag on there. I love that. It's so pretty. And even the back has this full length pocket that is very durable. So, and everything's designed to fit Stampin' Up! Products. So your stamp pads are going to fit, your inks are going to fit, all of that's going to fit perfectly. So for $129 for that starter kit, you'll get $175 of product of your choice, plus the craft tote, plus you'll get free shipping on either one of either the $99 or the $129 starter kits. You get free shipping, so you're already saving 10% right there. This is a phenomenal deal. I mean, I don't know if I've been doing this for 15 years with Stampin' Up, and I don't know if I've ever seen a deal that is this awesome, because you can select whatever you want for $175. You can get a big shot if you want. You can pick whatever you want to. So I love it. I would love for you to be a part of my team. And don't forget, when you purchase the starter kit, you will become a Too Cool Stamper, and you'll get to enjoy a 20% off discount automatically on your future order. So it's so awesome in and of itself. So if you have more questions about it, I would love to talk to you about it. It really is a no strings attached deal. You do not have to sell. You do not have to have workshops. You don't have to do what I do. If you want to just enjoy the discount as a hobbyist, I would say at least 85% of my team members are hobbyists. And I love that. I just want you to enjoy stamping and have fun with stamping and get the most bang for your buck. And this starter kit during celebration is the way to do it. So if you have any questions, contact me. You can message me through my blog at toocoolstamping.com. Or if you go to my blog, there's also an email link there for my, you can email me directly or message me even through Facebook. Duh, you're on Facebook. You can just message me through there. So I'll be happy to answer any questions. I'd love for you to be on my team. I have a really awesome local team here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but I have a large online team as well, and we do lots of different online functions as well. So let me talk to you about it if you have any questions, and I'd love to have you on my team. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we are going to be doing today. We're going to be talking about the Country Floral Embossing Folder. This is the dynamic texture impressions folder that you can get. It's in the second release celebration flyer. And so this is another awesome celebration special that's going on. This is a folder that you can get for free with a $50 order during celebration. And are you loving these products this year? I just am over the moon about all of these products. But I especially am excited about this folder today. Again, it's dynamic, which means it's extra deep. So let me just show you what I mean by that. Hopefully it's going to come up in the, there we go. You can look at the detail, look at the depth. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And here's, I'll give you an example in white. It's just so, so pretty. So we're going to be talking about two techniques with that folder today. It's going to make you want it even more. So you're going to definitely want to place your $50 or more order with toocoolstamping.com and get that for free. Okay, we're also going to be kind of featuring the Floral Romance suite. There's several products that we'll be using from there, and I think you're really going to like that too. Right now, on my blog yesterday, I mentioned a bunch of back orders. There are several back orders right now because, like I said, all of the stuff this year, the occasions catalog, the celebration catalog, I just think that they're awesome. And apparently many people do too, because they have far exceeded Stampin' Up's forecast. And I talked to several corporate members, and they were sharing some actual numbers. And I'm telling you, they had no idea some of these things were going to be blowing out of the door. So it's not just that, oh, they're horrible with back orders. I promise you, this is just because we have some phenomenal products, and they did not expect things to do this well. So one of the things that I wanted to mention about the Floral Romance Suite is the Designer Series paper is currently on back order. And we have a few other, we have some celebration items that are actually sold out and no longer available. So something like the Country Floral Embossing Folder, whatever their supply is, once something is sold out, you know, it's possible that it can run out. I'm not sure. Every once in a while, they do carry over something like a folder or like a punch. So it's possible that that might carry over, but we don't know that. And it's definitely something, if you want to get it, you want to get it right away before it sells out. But check my list. I have a complete list of all of the occasions and celebration items that were back ordered or sold out as of yesterday. I don't have it updated for today. All right, let's get to our projects today. I'm going to turn you guys around and I'm going to turn on the light. So hold on for a moment while I get this situated. More moving around. There we go. All right. Get you all nice and sturdy. And turn on some lights here. Get some light on the subject. Good morning, everyone. I'd love to see everyone's comments there. I just want to remind everyone, maybe if you didn't hear when you before you came on, I am giving away these frosted floral flowers, a full package, not ones with missing flowers, but I'm giving away this as a giveaway for our live today. And all you need to do is share this video on your wall and you will be entered to win. Okay, so today let's start out. I'm going to start out with a really fun, I have a little piece of paper here. This is just a 3x4 and it's already embossed with that beautiful Country Floral. And I'm going to just start in with a technique because I want you to see how it's made from the beginning instead of showing you the finished project. We'll just make a card and see how we go. So for this technique, we're going to actually use some Stampin' Blends markers and color in on top of this embossed pattern. And I just want to give you a few tips for doing it while we were doing it. So I'm going to start out, let's see. I like to use Stampin' Blends #1 because they won't show stroke lines. And I love that they blend. That's the name of the product, Stampin' Blends. So you're not going to have all these stroke lines like a normal marker would. So it's perfect for something like this. It also has really saturated color that lays down. So this is perfect for a really thick piece of paper like this. You can really get nice coverage. If you tried regular markers with this, you would really not have a very successful piece. So I'm going to start this, and I'm going to start with a large flower because it's just calling my name. And I'm going to use the brush tip end, and I'm going to just lightly brush over some of the middle areas just to kind of bring that to life. So you can see, I'll bring this up to the camera so you can see how you could just add a little bit of color and that really adds something and just kind of go over. You could also use sponging. That's kind of a technique that I would like to try, I think, but I wanted to start with this Stampin' Blends. Now I'm going to use the bullet tip and I'm going to get a little more detailed. So when I'm doing the edges of my flower, I'm actually going to outline them just like you were coloring when you were younger. You might want to outline the area and then color it in. And you're just going to kind of go around the edges. I don't go, it's such a deep texture that when I'm coloring, I think when I'm seeing how it's laying down, I want to keep the color on top of the embossed, the raised area. If you try to go to the side a little bit too much, then you're going to potentially touch the background with your marker. It's going to be really easy. And then you're going to transfer the ink to the background. And you're going to have more of a, kind of a globby little edge. And you don't want that. You want it to be nice and crisp. And you just want to highlight the raised portion. So if you have a little white on the edge, that's okay because that part is going to be the raised part. And it'll give you a nice optical illusion and even maybe enhance the raised look of it. So again, I'm just going to go around. If you do the outside first and then color in, you can be a little more loose on the inside. And then again, I'm going to go through and with the brush tip end, I'm going to get into some of these deeper areas. And then maybe go over that middle part that I started with. It adds a little more depth. Okay, so you get the idea here. This is so, so pretty. Look at that, how it just really brings it alive. Let's try a different color and some of the smaller areas. For the smaller areas, I definitely like the idea of using the bullet tip. It gets a lot of precision. If you have that, if you have the brush tip end, especially for little areas like this, you might just accidentally touch that background or right off of the side of a petal, and it just kind of messes up the flower a little bit. So I like the precision of the control, I guess. It's not like it's more of a fine tip, but it does give you a little more control. So again, I'm just kind of outlining each petal and then coloring in the center. If you don't get on the edges, like I said, that's not important. You just want to have some color on the top and try to, I like to do the outline because it gives you more of a smooth edge on each petal. So you can see how these little tiny flowers are kind of coming alive there. I'm going to add a little bit, that was Highland Heather, by the way, and the first one that I used was Pool Party. I'm going to add a little bit of Daffodil Delight. The other thing I've noticed when I was trying this technique is I like to use light colors. I think that the light colors just have a really soft look, and I really am enjoying that. So I haven't done very much with the darker colors because it just seems a little too much contrast against the white. Now, if you want to try maybe a different color cardstock, you could try, you know, maybe a blue or a balmy blue or Highland Heather, and then add in darker colors on top of that. I think that probably would be something fun to try. So again, I'm just now adding in some soft sea foam. Is that what I got? Yep, soft sea foam in the light, and just coloring in some of these leaves just to give you an idea of how simple it is to add color. So here's a little close-up of that. Hopefully you can get some idea there from the camera. So this takes a little bit of time. If you love coloring, you will love doing this because the whole background will come to life. If you don't love coloring, this probably isn't your thing. But when you have done the whole piece, then it looks like this. And I've added in some balmy blue for this flower. All the leaves are in soft sea foam. These flowers, like I mentioned, were in the Highland Heather, and then the big rose is in the Pool Party. I just really love them. What do you guys think of that? Do you like that look? So let's put together a quick card with that, just so you can see what it looks like in the finished version. So I'm going to start with a Highland Heather background that's going to really make that pop. Look at that. Ooh, I love it. These are all my favorite colors. My two cool colors that I like. I love blues and I love teals and I love purples. Excuse me. Losing my voice again. Okay. So for something like this that's really textured, I like to use a combination of tear and tape and snail. Just because tear and tape's going to hold it, and the snail is a little less expensive than the tear and tape. So I just use kind of a combination. That way I know I have a secure hold. Here in Indiana, we have lots of humidity, and even though it might be kind of dry right now, by the time summer comes around, these will be falling apart if I don't have some tear and tape on there. So I'm going to adhere this. This was a 3x4 piece of Whisper White when we started, and then I'm going to adhere that to a 3 1/8 by, no, I guess it's a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of balmy blue. Pretty. Then we're going to put some ribbon around it. I'm going to use the gorgeous Grape, and this is the mini striped ribbon. I love this ribbon. So cute. And I'm just going to wrap that around and tie a little double knot. So just a little hint, a lot of people ask me, how do I tie such a flat double knot? How does it look the way it does? So I just start with whatever one I start that goes over, I keep track of that one. So it's right here. Then I'm gonna pull this tight, and I actually have like a plus sign there. I'm gonna hold that with a finger, and then the same one is gonna go over again. Whoops. If I can get it to stay through there. I'm doing it at a weird angle since I have the camera here. Okay, so then this is the same one as in this hand. You're going to keep this nice and taut and pull this one only, not the one that's in your other hand. So pull this one only tight till you have it almost all the way down and tight, and then finish with this other side. And that gives you a really pretty flat knot. We have another card, and I'll do the same thing. So I'll show you that again if you missed how I did it. So I'm just going to trim that up. It looks like a little faux bow, like a little bow tie. And we'll move it over to the side. I think I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals. You know I love to do that. So let's add some dimensionals here. I better add a few more. I don't want it to be wobbly. I like it to be nice and secure. Okay, we'll just add that right to the front. Ooh, it's so pretty. Love those colors. Love them. Okay, we're going to finish up with a sentiment that I've already stamped, and it's from Part of My Story. And then I have a little scallop piece. Let me just show you the Part of My Story. I thought I had that over here, but I don't. So let's look that up real quick. So Part of My Story is part of the Celebration original release. So this is available through March for free with a $50 purchase, and you get all of these awesome sayings in it. The number is 149719, 149719, and I just stamped that in Highland Heather, and then I die cut it with the Layering Ovals Framelits. We'll add that with some snail onto this little scallop of Balmy Blue. That's also die cut with the Layering Ovals. And then we'll pop that up with a couple of dimensionals because we just have to. And I'm just going to add that right at the top there. There's a little space in between the pretty flowers. Ta-da! Super quick and easy. Okay, we'll say quick and easy once you get the coloring done. The coloring does take a little bit of time, and I think that you will really love the look of that when you're done. Now I do swaps with some of my fellow demonstrators, and I received a swap that had this similar technique, and this one was made by BJ Peters, and she used that same Stampin' blends on top of the Country Floral, and I love those colors. It looks like she used some Pool Party, Petal Pink, some Calypso Coral, some Daffodil Delight for the centers, and then some Granny Apple Green. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. She has it on a Petal Pink background. This is a Pool Party strip that looks like it's about 1.5 by 5, I'm thinking. And I think this outer Calypso Coral edge is, or matte, is a 3 by 4, so it's a little bit smaller for that one. And then this new Story Label Punch is what she used for her sentiment, and that is coming up tomorrow. You'll want to stay tuned for the celebration that is announced tomorrow, and it starts tomorrow, and it's a bunch of coordinating celebration products that you can purchase to go with the celebration items that you've earned. So it's really awesome. You can actually purchase those items to earn other celebration items that are for free. So one of them is this really awesome Story Label Punch, and then the other one is the sentiment is actually from the second release, the All Adorned. It has the best ever sentiment in there. And that number, this is a stamp set you can earn for free with a $50 purchase. And that number is 149728. That's 149728. So I love that look. What do you guys think? Is that a kind of a fun technique? I love it, love it, love it. Okay, I have one more technique to show you with the Country Floral. And I think you're going to like this one as well. So this one I will start off with one of the projects. So this uses the Country Floral Dynamic Texture Folder, and we have inked up one side of the folder in order to get this really pretty background that's in color, and then the texture is popped up. It almost, I don't know what that reminds me of, but it's just so, so pretty. It almost has a porcelain, like porcelain embossing or something. It's just really, really awesome. So this one is done in Petal Pink, and I have layered it onto some Whisper White. And I'll tell you all the dimensions as we're making the other card. And then we have a die cut here, and that is with the wonderful, or the Floral Romance suite in the Occasions catalog is where you're going to have a lot of these things. So the die is from the Wonderful Floral dies. This is actually, let's look at them in person. There's so many of them, you can't even fit them all on the card. But here is that beautiful oval. And then it has a bunch of other little dies and dies to match the Wonderful Romance stamp set as well. But that's the Wonderful Floral dies. So that's how we got the sentiment oval there. A Million Little Things. It's A Million Little Things. Is anybody watching that TV show, A Million Little Things? Oh my gosh, I just started watching it a couple of weeks ago. Started from the beginning and binge watched, and I'm already up to the current, and I absolutely love it. If anyone loves that, give me a shout out. Anyway, the It's a Million Little Things stamp is in the Beauty Abounds stamp set, and that is 148726. 148726. I haven't hardly used this, and I really need to because there's so many really pretty elements, but you'll be seeing this in the future, I promise. So so that's some, and we have the Frosted Florals. That's where I had those missing Frosted Florals right there. And we're giving those away. Remember, if you share the live today on your Facebook wall, then you're entered to win a package of the Frosted Florals. Okay, let's see how to make it. It's so awesome. So again, we're going to start with our Country Floral Embossing Folder, and we're going to ink up the inside of it and then run it through the Big Shot. So you'll want to ink up the side that has the line and has the logo to it. Does anyone know? They just recently started putting a line on there. Did you know that the line is actually for lining up your paper? So when you are putting your paper in here, it doesn't matter so much with the floral because it's kind of a random floral look, but like with stripes or anything that has any kind of, vertical or horizontal pattern, then you can line that edge right up to that line right here, and it's going to keep it nice and straight. So I didn't know if you knew that. I just thought I would mention it because it's kind of a new thing that they have been putting on the folders. Okay, I interrupt myself all the time. You'll get used to that. We're going to ink up the inside, and I'm going to use the Soft Sea Foam ink. And there's a couple of ways you can do it, and you can get different looks. You can actually just kind of smoosh, is that a word? Smoosh the ink onto the ink pad. Just kind of smoosh it in a kind of a rotating motion, I guess. And when you do that, then you are going to have kind of the texture, like almost a bubbly texture. And let me show you. I have some examples of that. So, like this one. This is Pool Party. And if you can see, it kind of has almost a bubbly background, which is fine if that's what you want. If you want kind of more of a textury look, that's what you're going to get. I wanted something that's a little more smooth and subtle. So once I get the ink on there, I'm just going to rub my ink pad across it really lightly and just kind of smooth out that ink tone. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. Now, I know that if I do the big shot here, I'm going to shake the camera like crazy, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I have my piece of white cardstock. This is a 5 by 3 1/4. I'm just going to lay it down in there. Once you lay it down, don't move it because you have ink on there. You don't want to smear it. And then we'll put that in on top of the big shot. Remember, this is a dynamic folder. You only need 1 cutting pad because it's so thick. So just 1 cutting pad. We'll run that through. I'm going to try not to, I'm just going to shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I am just like, oh, I love it, I love it. So that is all it is. Just ink your folder up. Now this is all inked up, and I'm telling you what, the easiest way to clean this is my chamois, my Simply Chamois. I just have it in a little snack bag, and I've cut it down. The original chamois, what did I do with it? I had one to show you. Oh, for crying out loud. I'm losing everything today. So the original chamois, this is just a 1/4 piece of the chamois, and you wet it, and it is like a chamois in that it will squeegee up and absorb water, ink, or whatever. So this is perfect for using on the Stamparatus when you're trying to clean the plates up, or the stamps that are on the Stamparatus. They're getting too much ink on them. You can just clean them up that way. Or if you want to switch colors, just run this over your embossing folder and you are good to go. And it sucks it in there and it doesn't get onto your fingers unless it gets really thick with the ink. It's not going to get on your fingers. When you start getting too much ink on it, then you just run it under tap water until it runs clear. Just run it, and it's very stained, so it looks like it's dirty, but it works like a charm. It's so awesome. I highly recommend the Simply Chamois, and I also highly recommend, you could keep some in the large size, but I love just cutting it either while it's wet or while it's dry into quarters. That way it's just really easy to clean off an embossing folder or clean off one stamp really quickly. So that's a little tip for the chamois. All right, so let's put our card together. We're going to do the same card, only in the soft seafoam. And I have a soft seafoam background, card base. I'm going to adhere that again with some tear and tape and a little bit of snail. If you have trouble getting the edges off, which sometimes I do, you just want to make sure that it's really adhered well. And you could even come in on the side here, and maybe that'll help get it off. For some reason, I'm really having trouble with that. I know that it gets tricky sometimes, but a lot of times if you just push that down really well, you can get a hold of it a little bit better. So we're going to add that to our Whisper White background, and this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and we'll just add that to the soft seafoam card base. All right, and then we used some classic weave ribbon in Whisper White. This is such pretty ribbon. It's nice and sturdy and really easy to tie. So I'll show you how to do that faux bow again. So again, you're going to start whatever piece you start and go do the over action. You're going to keep track of that piece. So it's right here. You're going to make a plus sign. Hold that nice and tight against the card, and then this piece that you went over, you're going to go over again. Then you're going to pull that same piece tight Just pull this side, don't pull the other side until you get right to the end, and then finish off with this side. And then just trim the ends. You can make it as long as you want to. Isn't that pretty? I love how easy it is to make that flat bow. So, I'm thinking maybe we need to do a too cool version, which is not exactly the same. Why do it the same? Let's try something different. Sometimes when I can't decide, do I want to make it on this side, or this color, or that color? Well, why do we have to decide? We'll make two cool versions of it. So I'm going to put the ribbon up there. I think that looks kind of pretty. And then we'll put the sentiment down here. So the sentiment, I already have my little piece of the wonderful floral die cut all ready to go. And then I'm going to use a Thinking of You sentiment, and this is from the same bundle. So it's from the Wonderul Romance stamp set that goes along with the Framelits in a bundle. And I'm going to stamp in Pear Pizzazz. Hey, I wanted to show you something while I'm doing this. It just reminded me. I don't know if it'll work. So did you know that when you open up an ink pad, there's a little trick, and you can kind of pop it? Did you see that? So sometimes when you're like trying to get this open and it's a little bit tricky, if you just go to the top of that color block, and you don't want to do it like this or it'll flip right out of your hand. You'll lose control of it. But if you just have it facing you so you can read it, and then put your thumbs on the top of this color block and then pop it, it pops right up and you can flip it over. Thank you, Janet Shin, for teaching me that little trick. I love it. And speaking of Janet Shin, this card is a card that Janet Shin shared on our Facebook group. And I loved it. And so I'm casing it because I think it's awesome. Okay, we're going to pop that up with some dimensionals. And on this card, I only put dimensionals up here and down here so that it would go right over that ribbon. This one, I don't have to worry about the ribbon being underneath it. Don't have to worry about a dimensional being on top of the ribbon, so I just put it all the way around. So I'll put that there. And then we're going to finish up with some of those frosted florals. Remember, we'll be giving that away today as a prize. You'll have until tomorrow at 9 o'clock to share this video to be entered to win. And I'm just going to add a couple of these. Add some fresh fig. And I love these clear ones because when you add them, they take on the color of whatever's behind them because they're translucent. Isn't that awesome? I love that. I'm going to get some more of those. And I also like the way the flower shape kind of goes with that 4-petal flower. It kind of picks up on that and coordinates. I love it. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you like this technique? Let me show you a couple of what I do with it. Oh, I have some other colors here. I was practicing. So here's the soft sea foam again. We looked at the pool party color. That's really pretty. Here's Mango Melody. It's kind of bright. Again, just like the other card, I was using the soft, subtle colors. I feel like those probably look the best for white. But if you wanted to like run a colored cardstock through and then add a darker color of ink, I think that would look phenomenal too. I'll have to try that as well. Here's the petal pink again. Now, somebody was probably going to ask me, what happens if you put ink on the other side of the folder? So instead of putting it on the side that has the line and the Stampin' Up! Logo, what if you put it on this side? What happens to that? Well, I'll show you. This is what happens. It's actually kind of pretty. It's better than I thought it was going to be. The rose looks a little weird because that debossed rose just isn't as cool. But other than that, if you use different parts of it, if you just use this part, you get some really pretty floral and leaf detail. So this was done in Pool Party. So I could see using some parts of that to add some dimension and fun for a background. That might be kind of neat. Okay, so that's what I have. I would love to see what you guys come up with. If you guys want to try some different ink colors, and you know, I didn't try Highland Heather. That would be one that I would want to try. I bet it would look beautiful in a Daffodil Delight or a crushed curry or something like that. If you guys do any kind of projects that use this technique, I would love for you to share. And you can just share right here underneath the video so people can see some different ideas. And if you want me to try some different backgrounds, tell me what your favorite color is. What does it look like in this color? I might try some different colors out with it. It's just such a fun technique. So here are the two cards that we did, and then before that we did the coloring on the embossing folder. Again, the Country Floral is a folder that you can get for free with a $50 order at TooCoolStamping.com. Just click on the Shop Now button. And also, I wanted to mention, when you have a $50 order, and this is the last day because it's only for February, I am also giving away 25 free sweet project sheets with a $50 order. You have to use my host code, and if you go to TooCoolStamping.com, you'll see it there. And if you use the host code, that'll be located, there's a little box on the shopping cart page that you put that host code in, and you'll be qualified to earn this PDF. It'll have 25 different projects, and they're all featuring, I have 8 projects featuring all my love, and they're, even though this is kind of a Valentine's design for a stamp set, it's not for Valentine's cards. It's just love in general. And also the Floral Romance Suite. We talked a lot about those today, about those projects. You can see some of the different sentiments here that use that same oval. So I'll have 7 projects for that. And then you'll also get some project ideas for the Happiness Blooms Suite. You'll get 10 project ideas for that. So you'll get all 25 PDF project sheets so that you can have some great inspiration and make some awesome projects on your own. Again, that's with a $50 or more order at TooCoolStamping.com. Hit the Shop Now button, and when you're checking out, you'll want to add the hostess code SEJ42WVJ. And again, that's also listed on my my website, TooCoolStamping.com, so that you can find it there if you've missed it here. All right, everybody, I think that's all for today. I thank you so much for spending time with me today, and I hope that you enjoyed the projects that we did, and I hope you try them out. I can just see them in so many different color combinations, and I hope that you guys have fun experimenting with these awesome ideas and the Country Floral Embossing Folder. Thanks again for joining me. This is Angie with Too Cool Stamping. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.